Welcome back to Northwest News. In this week's edition, we cover a food truck that made its way to the Student Union, an update on the Nopal County Humane Society since tragedy struck, and more. Your Northwest News starts right now.
Thanks for tuning into Northwest News, the show where we provide the latest coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Libby Ehlers.
And I'm Tristan Clark. Before we get into this week's episode, be sure to hit that notification bell for the latest news coverage as well as other KNWT content.
In late December of 2023, a fire engulfed the local animal shelter in Maryville. Staff and first responders rushed to rescue animals trapped inside. Since then, the Nopal Humane Society has been attempting to get their bearings straight since the incident. Reporter Katie Byrd takes us there.
It was a 3-second phone call to me.
That's all the time it took for new Nopal Humane Society Assistant Manager Casey Fish to drop everything and rush to where the fire was. At 7:30 a.m. on the morning of December 19th, the only animal shelter in Nopal County burst into flames. Assistant Manager Fish recounts that nightmarish morning.
It was pretty gut-wrenching. I mean, we just ran in and started leashing up dogs. Public safety was wonderful. They were running in with us. Firefighters were great. We could see the flames through the ceiling. It was scary. Now we had members of the community show up that were willing to run into the building. Nobody knew where the fire was exactly at that point. And we just ran in. It was just, you do what you got to do. These are our babies. So we got every single animal out, which is wonderful. It's our biggest fear around here is like, what if we can't get to them? So everybody just rallied together. We had every single dog and cat in the foster home by 3 o'clock that afternoon.
Fish spoke on how the shelter has had to work hard to bounce back from the tragedy.
A lot of cleaning staff was here every day. We were cleaning walls, we were washing blankets nonstop. Everything that smelled like smoke, we cleaned. It was a long process. It took about a month or so until we could get the animals back in here.
She also spoke on the silver lining of the fire.
Running a shelter in a small town is hard because everybody in the county relies on just our one building. Lost some things in the fire, but so many animals got homes from that.
Staff member Kylie Farrow also responded to the fire. Even though the shelter is now fixed, she spoke on why it's still so important to foster animals.
So fostering is a big plus for us, especially for the dogs back in the kennels that are suffering from anxiety and depression.
The new Nopal Humane Society is always looking for help. You can visit their website at newnotawahumanesociety.org. This has been Katie Byrd for Northwest News.
Many local businesses have partnered with the Humane Society in hopes of raising funds to rebuild what has been damaged. If you are looking to support their shelter, check out their Facebook page as they are always holding fundraisers.
Stick with us as we take you through a more heartwarming story provided by the Maryville Forum. A loggerhead turtle by the name of Bobby has been introduced to Johnny Morris's Wildlife National Museum located in Springfield, Missouri, through a wildlife partnership with Northwest.
Northwest, as well as the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and Turtles Fly 2 have a partnership with the aquarium in a program named Wonders of Wildlife, and their mission is to provide care and rehabilitate loggerhead turtles.
Brandon Staley, Northwest Assistant Vice President of Marketing and Communications, said, "We are proud to extend our Northwest pride through this partnership and highlight the incredible work being done to rehabilitate these animals."
The Wonders of Wildlife program was initiated 4 years ago and during that stretch has provided care for 30 loggerhead sea turtles. Their plan is to release them back into the wild after they are nurtured back to health.
For more information as well as updates on Bobby the sea turtle, check out the link wondersofwildlife.org/sea turtles.
When we come back, reporter Shelby Singleton attends a lecture series Northwest held with a distinguished guest speaker. You are watching Northwest News.
Kirsten, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing here? Making TikToks? And it's not about what I do, it's about what we do here. So we start with storyboarding the content we want to create for our clients. It could be anyone from small businesses, nonprofits, and organizations both on campus and in the Maryville community. We write, we film, we edit, we create, and then we wait. So if you're someone who thinks you need us, We are KNWT Creative Services.
Life happens in an instant. Let us help you be a part of it.
Take 5.
Live for you to enjoy.
Thank you for sticking with us and welcome back to Northwest News. This past week, reporter Shelby Singleton attended the Distinguished Lecture Series held in the Hughes Fieldhouse. There, she was able to find out more on what Ross Douthat was presenting.
Ross Douthat, an author and columnist for the New York Times, visited Northwest to lecture and speak to students about the decline and rebirth of the American empire and why America is troubled right now but may be dominant tomorrow.
To offer a realistic assessment of the big problems that America is facing right now and how we've essentially spent 20 years in decline, but also to look ahead at ways in which America might be actually better positioned than almost any country in the world for the next 50 to 75 years of human history. A mixture of realism about the present and optimism about the future. A sense that America really does have big problems right now, but that in an odd way, there's almost sort of no alternative to America if you're looking for a place that, you know, has a chance to build a more dynamic human future. It's still us, for better or worse.
After the lecture, I asked students and Maryville citizens what they thought of Douthat's lecture.
That there's optimism to be found in America's future in an increasingly pessimistic world. It's easy to get focused on the negatives, and he definitely focused on the positives more so than most political analysts do. I haven't read any of his books. I read all the summaries before I came here. I read his most recent articles before I came as well. I wasn't the biggest fan, but that's all right.
I really enjoyed his, you have to have 5 identities before you have your political side. And I do think like if people really wear that on their sleeve, their political opinions, and I loved how if you just did that and had better relationships, that we might not have such a deep divide. I listened to his podcasts. I've listened since before COVID. He was in The Argument, and then I listened to Matter of Opinion. He was a guest on Barry Weiss's Honestly, which I'm a big fan of her. And I don't even remember what it was about, but I remember liking it a lot. So I enjoy his honesty and kind of like not explanations of things without any biases.
For the stories that matter to you, I'm Shelby Singleton, reporting for Northwest News.
Make sure to be on the lookout for more guests that Maryville might bring, as they are always bringing speakers to campus.
When we come back, I take us to the mystery food truck spotted by the Union last week. You're watching Northwest News.
Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Tales of the Dice Roll, a show centered around the journey of these daring heroes.
My name is Aaron Moore, and I'm Shepard Gray.
My name's Evan Saxton, and I'm playing Archibald Kavir.
I'm Porter Williams, and I'm playing Meru.
I'm Nicholas Rysak, and I'm playing Taruk Mbaku.
I'm Jonas Pilat, and I'm the Dungeon Master.
Will they succumb to their fate, or write their own story? Be sure to tune in Fridays at noon for this season of Pen and Paper.
Welcome back back to Northwest News, the place where you can find news and whereabouts on what's happening in the Northwest and Maryville community.
Before students left for spring break, the local Mexican eatery El Nopal brought its food truck to campus, giving out free food to the first few customers, as well as selling its fine cuisine. Follow me as I take us there.
Students gathered outside the J.W. Jones Student Union in front of the bell tower in order to celebrate Northwest Week. The Student Engagement Center, specifically the Office of Student Involvement, brought in a food truck from El Nopal, a local Mexican restaurant, to add to the festivities on campus. To close out Northwest Week, El Nopal prepared select items from their menu to give to Northwest students, while also allowing for the first 200 students in line to eat for free. This event was brought on by Student Activities Council, also known as SAC, to which they have also held events inside the Student Union for Northwest Week, such as shirt giveaways and a grab-and-go donut booth. During this event, I spoke with Lily Bryant, a junior here at Northwest, to hear more about her experience with Northwest Week and how it has impacted her experience as a Northwest Bearcat.
Northwest Week just means to me that it's showing the school, appreciating the students, and it's really fun to see all the different things that the Student Activity Council has come up with for us to enjoy. I always enjoy the shirt giveaways. SAC always comes up with super cute shirts, and I'm a sucker for a free t-shirt, and then also the food truck. Who doesn't love El Nopal? The Northwest Week is one of my favorite campus events. I look forward to it every spring semester.
As the event continued, I also spoke to Hallie Douglas. Douglas is not only a Northwest Missouri State University alumni, but is also the newest addition to the Fraternity and Sorority Life Office. While speaking to Douglas, she not only shared her feelings on returning to campus, but also looks back at how the community had an effect on her during her time as an undergraduate.
The events that we see throughout campus that help the involvement throughout that office is very diverse. You see all the students coming together. You can see all the diversity throughout campus. They're coming in, they're getting very involved. You can say the friendships that they're making, but also the fun that they're having, because no matter what, throughout their college experience, it's going to be fun.
To learn more about SAC, check out their social media at NW_SAC, and also be sure to visit El Nopal here in Maryville. Reporting for Northwest News, this is Libby Ehlers.
El Nopal is a Mexican restaurant located on the outskirts of Maryville. Look out for their food truck around town because you'll never know when they will be giving out free food to the community.
Well, that's all the time we have for Northwest News. Be sure to go to the description below to re-watch certain sections of our show.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all the latest news and updates. This has been Northwest News. Thank you for watching.